And tonight, the search is on for a murder suspect.
It started with a petty argument.
Then it escalated into a deadly fight, leaving Cynthia Priolo dead in the Kroger parking lot. After the woman fired the mace, police say the driver of the car pulled a pistol and shot the woman twice.
News Since 5, a close friend who saw a father get shot and killed in a Kroger parking lot.
Worker after he was shot in that Kroger parking lot on Ponce de Leon last year.
To find the person who shot and killed a man on Ponce de Leon Monday night.
Shooting the construction worker after breaking into his truck outside a Midtown Kroger store last March.
Live at the Kroger store on Ponce de Leon Avenue, Doug Richards, Channel 5 Eyewitness News.
The Kroger at 725 Ponce de Leon Avenue has an undoubtedly dark past, which has earned it its nickname as Atlanta's Murder Kroger. However, amidst changing landscapes and rampant gentrification, the haunted nature of this location may have done more good than harm in preserving a cultural legacy and uniting a community. Changes began in the surrounding area, known as the Old Fourth Ward, in 2005, and construction started on the Atlanta Beltline, one of the largest and most ambitious urban redevelopment programs in the nation. As a result, the areas around the Beltline have seen rapid gentrification, evidence of which can be seen in U.S. Census data reflecting home values and household incomes. Despite its dark past, the Murder Kroger has become something of a cultural landmark in the neighborhood it once stood in, as well as becoming an urban legend for the community.
Murder Kroger. It's that 24-hour part that gets you. Open 24 hours for death.
It became such a recognizable symbol of Atlanta and the Old Fourth Ward that it even had a song written about it.
We're going to do this song. It's called Murder Kroger, and it's dedicated to anyone that shops at the Kroger on Ponce.
However, in January of 2016, it was announced that the Murder Kroger would be demolished to make way for 725 Ponce, a mixed-use development project for office space, a new urban Kroger, and a larger parking lot. Despite its commonly negative connotations, gentrification is not inherently detrimental. As Simkins explains in her article, Gentrification, Culture, and Capital in the Urban Core, the economic benefits of gentrification may and often do come at the cost of local culture and history. However, when those who are investing in the gentrification do so responsibly, gentrification can have an overall positive impact on an area.
A major focus is making sure housing stays affordable. Of course, new development will mean increased property taxes and increased property values.
The establishment of 725 Ponce benefits the surrounding community through its use of tax increment financing, which relies on fixing the taxable expense of housing at the rate it was prior to development. Once development has begun, taxes are raised and the difference is used to fund the project. Developing an area through this means can be beneficial because there are very few regulations on how to manage funds. With the Beltline, most of the funds gained contribute to parks, transportation, and other general infrastructure. Financial resources are used to transform an establishment people may have avoided before due to its notorious reputation for criminal activity into an approachable city destination. The haunting that once existed is effectively reduced in physicality, providing a new store where the community can start a new chapter of their story. This type of development is not inherently sinister, but can lead to cities that put their citizens and their needs first. That doesn't mean that people in the community celebrated the loss of the Murder Kroger. In fact, many felt so strongly that on one of its last nights, hundreds of Atlantans held a candlelight vigil in its memory.
When I asked Tracy Hicks why she wanted to come hold LED candles in a Kroger parking lot, she pauses a moment.
Because we're sad.
There's just something about it that's special.
That's Brandon White. He says the store was named after something dark, a murder that took place in the 90s. But the Kroger has become an icon for Atlanta residents. Everyone has heard stories about it or has memories of their own attached to it. It's one of the last remnants of, quote, old Atlanta, in a neighborhood that's been transformed by the Beltline.
Individuals in the neighborhood and in the greater Atlanta area cared for the Murder Kroger despite its association with brutal murders, which may seem counterintuitive. However, Rachel A. Woldow's research on the effects of local stressors on neighborhood detachment actually suggests that disorders in neighborhoods do not necessarily result in detachment. Woldow concluded that the only effects victimization and crime perceptions have are that they increase a commitment to problems within the community rather than trigger indifference, hence increasing neighborhood attachment and bringing the community closer together.
It will still be Murder Kroger. They could put the Taj Mahal here and it's still going to be Murder Kroger.
No one's going to
At least as long as the old Atlanta residents are around to remember it.
To some extent, the mortality of the Murder Kroger may have actually contributed to its urban legend status. Effectively a martyr, its demolition announcement spawned numerous articles and an event that brought together the community. This is something that would not have occurred without its haunted past. Similar to gentrification itself, the dark history of Murder Kroger has become something that is neither inherently good nor bad, but some of both. Had the Kroger not been, in a sense, haunted by its past, its memory may have been forgotten entirely. The haunting of Murder Kroger has transformed its morbid history into a cultural landmark, uniting a community in a bond that is resistant even to outside pressures of modernization and gentrification.